to his office. Start. Pursuant to Article 9, Section 16 of the Constitution of the Federated States of Micronesia and Title 3, Section 201 of the Code of the Federated States of Micronesia, and as set forth in the official rules of procedure of the Congress, I hereby call the 22nd Congress of the Federated States of Micronesia, 4th special session, which is being held remotely due to the limitations caused by the COVID-19, to order. Let us bow our heads for a moment of silent prayer. Roll call, Chief Clerk.
Senator Aritos,
Yes.
Senator Christian, Senator Figuer, Senator Figuer, Senator Golan,
Yes.
Floor Leader Harper.
Amen.
Thank you. Senator Gunman.
Yes.
Thank you. Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Nat, Senator Pollack.
Yes, good morning.
Thank you. Good morning. Senator Perman, Senator Romalo, Senator Uruzamal.
He's here.
Thank you. Senator Wali, Speaker Simona.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, 8 members are present.
According to our rules, we do have a quorum to transact business today. So next item is appointment of the committee to wait on the president. It's my privilege to appoint Vice Speaker Moses Panbe to chair the committee. Members will be Senator Palik Pashay, Senator Figuer of YAP, and Floor Leader Harbor to represent Troop. Okay. Short recess. Congress is back in session. Next item, prepared.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The next item is presidential communications. We are in receipt of numbers 22-199 to number 22-214.
Okay, assign those communications, Chief Clerk. Next item.
Point of privilege, Mr. Speaker.
State your point, Floor Leader Harbor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise on a point of privilege to ask permission to deliver my short, written, provoking remarks. Mr. Speaker, before I actually deliver my remarks, please allow me to take this opportunity to express my sincere and humble greetings of ineffable respect to His Excellency President David W. Panuelo, members of his cabinet, if there are any out there, you, Honorable Speaker Simina, honorable members of this august body, our own congressional staffs, and those who are able to observe our session this morning by whatever means. And let me say Tiro and Renanim to you all. Honorable Speaker and distinguished colleagues, I know very well that my remarks may not be very appealing to you all, but I care to write it to express my great disappointment and dissatisfaction relating to what I would personally call indifference and apathy on the part of the two committees on Judiciary and Government Collaboration and Resources and Development, which were assigned and instructed by the Speaker to look into the particular resolution that allege certain acts of corruption surrounding the lawsuits involving FSM Development Bank and few of our citizens, as well as property disputes involving also FSM Bank, FSM Development Bank, and our people. The mentioned resolution was introduced last July 2021 during one of our previous sessions and was mandated in that said resolution that the two committees on JGO and R&D should report back to Congress on their findings and recommendations no later than the regular session in January 2022. However, until now, the two committees have not done anything with the said resolution. Mr. Speaker, because of the failure of the two committees to carry out their mandate under the July 21 resolution, due to their indifference and apathy toward the resolution, may I humbly ask that I be allowed to introduce another resolution to the same effect, and hopefully the new resolution will be assigned to a special committee to be appointed by the Speaker, if such a special committee can at least do something and report its findings and recommendation in our regular session in September of 2022. It is really a great sympathy when our people are crying out in time of their needs of our assistance, but their outcries for help are only received by deaf ears of our Congress. I thought such a magnanimous Congress of ours will always stand ready and willing to extend assistance in whatever form to our people, especially when they are crying out for help to assist them in fighting to eradicate the corruptions of the corrupt elites, fighting to uphold justice for those who are unjustly treated, fighting to suppress the oppression of those in power, and fighting to stop the aggression of the affluent and the rich. Finally, Mr. Speaker, please allow me to share my few comparisons of the so-called Congress of Micronesia until the middle part of our FSM Congress with our recent FSM Congress starting at the 17th Congress until today. Let me try to be brief in my comparisons. First and foremost, I want to say that the reputation, respect, admiration, and the well-talked about public image possessed by the Congress of Micronesia until the middle part of our FSM Congress are now declining, diminishing, degrading, and being belittled or this parish because of the following observations. Number one, members of the recent FSM Congress got elected to their positions during their middle stage of adulthood, not men enough for the positions. Most, if not all, members are not mature and wise enough to handle the job. Members are not serious enough in their work. Members are not loving enough to help the people. Members are not kind enough to care for the needs and wishes of the people. Number 6, members are not humble enough to prioritize public interest over their own self-interest. Number 7, last but not the least, is that most, if not all, members are not Christian enough to follow or abide by the teaching or saying of our Lord Jesus Christ, which says, I come to serve, but not to be served. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and my honorable colleagues for your patience and endurance in listening to my provocative remarks, and I do apologize for it. It is so topper, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Florida Arbor, for your statement. Well said. But on the two committees, I thought they were instructed last session to do something after the session. I'm not sure whether they had done something. We will have our LC and attorneys for the committees to report back to us on what they've done, if they have done anything. Okay. And yes, of course, there is no way we can compare this the latter part of this Congress, FSM Congress, to the previous. I mean, the older ones. I guess they're more mature. They're more smarter. They're more wiser. So there's no way of comparing. But we should do what we have. With what we have, we were elected by the people of this nation, and it is true. We should try to do our best. Okay. Any other miscellaneous? I mean, any other point of privilege?
Mr. Speaker.
What's that? Vice Speaker Moses? Do you
Yeah,
have
thank
any point of privilege?
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, proceed.
And good morning to you, floor members. I wanted to take this opportunity to recognize our president, President David W. Panuelo. He's here in the gallery. Also with them are a number of cabinet members and staff and other witnesses to our session this morning. So I would like for us to give him a round of applause and those who are with him.
Okay, thank you, Vice Speaker.
Speaker. Mr. Speaker,
Who's that?
it's me.
Oh, welcome, Chairman Fakir. You have the floor. You have any point of privilege? Take
Yes,
note.
yes, indeed, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, proceed.
Sorry for being late. This morning, I had to go cancel my reservation, and I had to pay a penalty for that. So first, my respect to His Excellency David Panuelo and all the dignitaries in the gallery observing our session this morning. I rise to give my view on the main purpose of this special session called by the President, which is to amend the law to allow the CONCON to meet in person while the declaration of emergency for the pandemic is still in effect. Congress, in its December session, adopted a bill that was then signed into law as Public Law number 22-66 by the President, stating that the CONCON could meet in person after the pandemic declaration of emergency was over, but it could meet online at any time. And I repeat, at any time. Before that, need I remind the Congress that I am addressing you online from YAP, and that the Congress for the past several years had been forced to do so by the pandemic. I had a role in Congress adopting such a bill, and I believe what is most important to us is in the nation at this point in time is the preservation of our people's health from the dreadful disease of COVID. That is why Congress has met in 10 sessions previously in order to expand the pandemic declaration 10 times already. Maybe more because I am old and I may be losing my count. I also must be old because when I voted for the bill in December, I knew exactly what I was doing. Yet the bill had become law. The AG's office determined that I did not mean what the bill said. Therefore, the public law did not have to be obeyed, and the CONCON must meet whenever it wanted. Maybe because of the AG's thinks I am the longest continuously serving member of Congress, therefore I must be going senile. And people should not pay any attention to me. To me, I say, I meant it. While the pandemic is ongoing, I do not think there should be a mass meeting involving people from abroad. Online meetings work for Congress. They should work for the CONCON too. I also do not appreciate the AG's guessing a public law. I encourage him of issuing legal opinions to go to the authority that can truly determine whether a law is valid or not. The Supreme Court of the Federal States of Micronesia. Until then, I intend to abide by my oath of office to uphold the laws of the FSM. I see a basic contradiction between allowing the CONCON to meet in person and having a declaration of emergency for pandemic. I suggest that to be consistent, we repeal the pandemic declaration instead. That way, the CONCON can meet and do whatever it wants, however it wants. I hope the Congress seriously consider that alternative. And thank you, my esteemed colleagues, for allowing me to rise on the point of privilege.
Thank you.
You're done, Chairman Figueroa? Okay,
Yes, I'm done.
thank you very much for your statement. Yes, I guess that's one of the reasons we're having, I guess the president called this special session. And I don't think we need to argue over it, the interpretation and what have we can do any of those options. And I guess that's why we're meeting to decide as a matter of policy how Congress wanted to treat the issue. So I think we should appreciate what the president has did in calling this a short special session. So we can make that decision in a transparent and a fair way, making sure that this fundamental entity, the Constitutional Convention, can either proceed online or proceed in person and doing the works that we authorize them to do on behalf of all of the nation regarding our fundamental document, the Constitution of this nation. So thank you, Chairman Figueroa, for your statement. Well taken. I think some of us or many of us share those concerns as well. I'm sure President also shared it. It's just the way the thing was set up in terms of what the AG opined. So we'll have to deal with that as we proceed with this session. Okay, any other point of privilege? If none, Chief Clerk,
Privilege, Speaker.
short recess, subject to ballot to chair. Conference back in session. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The next item is item number 6 of some Supreme Court Communications. We are in receipt of 2 of them, and they are numbers 22-24 to number 22-25.
Sign those, Chief Clerk. Next item.
Item number 7, member communications, none at the moment, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 8, departmental communications. We are in receipt of 3 of them, and they are numbers 22-23 to number 22-25.
Okay, assign those, Chief Clerk. Next item.
Item number 9, agency or governmental authority communications. We have numbers 22-23 to number 22-26.
Okay, assign those, Chief Clerk. Next item.
Item number 10, state communications. We have 1, and it's number 22-14.
Sign that, Chief Clerk. Next item.
Item 11, state Supreme Court communications, none, Mr. Speaker.
Next.
Item 12, municipal or town communications, none also, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item number 13, foreign government communications. We have a few of them, and they are numbers 22-54 to number 22-73.
Sign off those, Chief Clerk. Next item.
Item number 14, miscellaneous communications. We have 1, and it's number 22-04.
So assign that, Chief Clerk. We're now on our order of day. Item 15, sending come the reports. Do we have any, Chief Clerk?
None at the moment, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, next item.
Item 16, special committee reports, none also, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item number 17, for assignment of measures and communications, kindly refer to referral sheet number 22-56.
Okay, Chairman and members of the committees, take a look at that for planning purposes. Next item.
Item number 18, unfinished business, none at the moment, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item number 19, bill calendar, none, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Resolution calendar for item number 20, none also, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 21, introduction of bills and resolutions.
If you have any measures introduced, please pass them on to Chief Clerk. Next item is miscellaneous business. Do you have any miscellaneous business? Miscellaneous business. You have any? If none, next item is announcement. Vice Speaker Moses.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I've consulted with the president and we will be meeting right after our sit down today.
Okay, take note, members of the committee, to wait on the president. You have a meeting right after our short sit back after the session. Okay. Any other announcement? Any other announcement? If none, there's no objection. We'll keep it to floor leader.
Mr. Speaker,
Yes, proceed, Floor Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If I may not be out of order, I move that we stand in recess until tomorrow at 10 a.m. Chuk time.
Again.
Moved and seconded that Congress stand in recess until tomorrow at 10 in the morning True time. Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Congress now stands in recess until tomorrow at 10 in the morning True time.